The Pay Schedules page can be found via the Payroll Settings tab, which can be accessed here or here. Pay schedules are used to set up pay runs. The pay schedule settings are used each pay run to calculate what to pay employees. There is no limit to the number of pay schedules that you can create, and they can be configured for any combination of pay frequencies. So you can have multiple weekly, fortnightly, and monthly pay schedules all running at the same time. These pay schedules are linked to the corresponding ATO tax tables. Depending on the option that was selected when the business was created, there will already be a default pay schedule in the system. For example, if you selected that the business processes pays weekly, there will already be a weekly pay schedule. If you selected fortnightly, there will be a fortnightly default option. In addition to the system default, in order to add a pay schedule, click on the Add button located on the top right-hand side. You will then be required to configure your pay schedule settings as follows. The name. This is the name that the pay run will be called and will be referenced when creating a pay run. Make sure that the pay run is clearly identifiable and recognised by all staff processing pay runs. For example, you may have ad hoc, bonus, along with your usual fortnightly, monthly, or weekly pay runs. The frequency. The options here are weekly, fortnightly, or monthly. This dictates the calculation of the employee's PAYG, so ensure you select the correct frequency. If you select a monthly pay run, there is also an additional option to calculate monthly hours based on an annual average. This setting only applies to employees who have advanced standard work hours set up, which is done via their employee file pay run defaults page. And these hours mean that in normal circumstances, their hours would differ each month due to there being a different number of days in most months. By ticking this box, it means the employee's hours will be averaged over the course of each month, regardless of the actual hours worked. The next option includes included employees. Here you can choose from none. You would choose this option where the pay run is ad hoc in nature, for example, bonuses, back pays, or commissions. In this case, it would be a scenario where you would manually add employees to the pay run. The next option, include employees with this pay schedule as their default. This is the most common setting and should be chosen where the pay run is regular in nature, and employees who have this on their employee defaults page, they will always be attached to this pay run. The last option, employees with timesheets in the following locations. This option would be chosen if you want to separate pay runs into locations. You could then select from a location in the drop-down box. Just a note with this, if an employee works in more than one location and this setting is chosen, the employee could potentially be processed in more than one pay run in the same frequency, and PAYG Super must therefore be manually adjusted to ensure the employee is not disadvantaged and the correct calculations are made. The next field, payslip message. You can add a recurring note here that will appear in the payslip message area on all pay runs for this pay schedule. This note will, in turn, appear on all employees' payslips for the pay run. Pay run warnings. By default, all triggered system warnings will be displayed in the pay run. There may, however, be some pay run warnings that are of no relevance to a particular pay schedule, so you would prefer that they are not displayed in the pay run at all. This setting allows you to configure what warnings you actually want displayed in the pay run. Clicking on here will open the context panel. Simply deselect the warnings you do not want appearing in the pay run. The pay run finalization settings. The following preferences can be configured to apply to all pay runs in a specific pay schedule. by clicking on the Here option. Although you can't see it in this example because my business doesn't meet this criteria, there'll be a Journals option, but it only relates to API integrated journals. The option to configure journals will not be available for file import journal services, for example MyOb. Also, QuickBooks users will not see this option as the journal export happens automatically as part of the integration. Create Pay Event, you can choose immediately or later. Publish payslips immediately, manually, or you can select a date and time. Employee notifications, you can select to send the notifications to employees or don't send. Report packs, you can select immediately, a date and time picker, or do not run. If reports are configured to run, you're able to select the report packs from the available checkboxes. This option will not show if you do not have any report packs configured within your business. Once these finalization settings have been configured, if you set up pay run automation, those settings will flow through to the pay run automation wizard. The next section deals with PAYG payments. This checkbox can be selected if you want the ABA file for that pay run to include the PAYG amount to be transmitted to the ATO at the time of the pay run. If you select this option, you will be required to enter the relevant ATO bank details and reference number. The last option here is pay run automation. This setting allows you to choose what components of a pay run you want automated, that is run in the background automatically, and what components are to be processed manually. If the pay run is to be processed manually from start to end, then no setting needs to change as manual processing is the default setting. You can click on the Here link in order to go through a wizard and decide what sections of the pay run you'd like automated. To edit a pay schedule, simply click on the name of the pay schedule. This will expand the details of the pay schedule where you can then make the appropriate changes. In order to delete a pay schedule, hover your mouse over the pay schedule where a red bin icon will appear in the top right-hand corner of the window. You'll notice in this example business, all of the garbage cans are grey. This indicates that I can't delete any of these pay schedules because they've been previously used to pay employees. We do not allow the deletion of pay schedules so as not to affect ongoing reporting. And there you have it, the pay schedules page.